Hey everybody, this is Christina with Rock on Request magazine, and I have the pleasure today of speaking with Joe Scorsone, or better known as FLINTface. How are you doing, Joe?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. You just came back from Raleigh, right?
Indeed. I left around 9:30 and drove straight back to PA. So
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I used to live out there, so yeah.
Okay.
Where'd you perform?
At the Turnanog Irish Pub in Raleigh, downtown Raleigh.
Yep.
Uh,
I know it well. I know it well. Um,
yep.
Too bad you're not on the West Coast. I'm dying to see you live.
I will be there. I'm sure it's bound to happen. Good
Huh.
enough.
Well, I'm going to be ready for it because I'd love to hear you play. I mean, I really have been taken with what you do. You know, ever since I heard it the first time, and I really love your music. So I'm glad to be talking to you.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Let's talk about it for a minute because we have a worldwide audience that listens to our podcast, and I really want them to get to know you as an artist and a person, and your songs and your music. What you do is very inspirational. So can you give a little background on how you got into doing what you do and sharing it with the world and inspiring people?
It seemed that that originally the music was just kind of a vehicle to I see the song as an opportunity, like a one chance opportunity to share something with the listener, whether it's some sort of whatever they need out of it, some hope, some encouragement, some inspiration, some whatever they're at in life, and or just enjoy a good song. So it's a place where I don't want to be preachy or try to be some sort of inspirational speaker. The eye of the tiger in the background of their life. I just want to be there and allow them to get what they need out of it, or just enjoy the song. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's, I think, what took me so much when I heard Ready for It, because there's a lot of music out there today that I don't know. I'm sure everyone's trying to say something, but not everybody, I think, can grab me the way just straightforward, hopeful, inspirational lyrics can, and that's what you do. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. I think that needs to be out there a lot more than it is. So but you have a lot of backstory to what you do. I mean, you had kind of a tough upbringing, and you also have a very spiritual background. You want to share a little bit about that?
Sure. My upbringing, I have a good family, and obviously, it's out there that I experienced. I was sexually abused, and I struggled with depression and suicide as a teenager, and I still have these after effects of that kind of thing. I don't think it completely ever goes away.
Right.
And it's easy to go there, like as a writer. It's easy to just say these are my scars and this is my past, and feel my pain. But I'm at a point where I don't want to linger in the those feelings. I want to talk about fighting, for hope. Hope is it's kind of a dark. It's very hard to find. It's not where I go to right away. I have to wrestle my way through a series of emotions.
Oh, sure.
Despair, negativity, pessimism. Excuse me. Well, maybe it'll be okay. Reason through it to finally get to hope. I think a lot of people go through that, and moving forward in the music, I really want to not dwell in my past, but more so make it about everyone and make it about the listener, because everybody's got a sad story. Everybody's
Sure.
got a rough background, and this project, this whole thing is really about people. It's about all of us and the human experience, not so much FLINTface, Joe Scorsone, whatever, my life. It's really about all of us. So.
Well, let me share something with you, if I can.
Sure. Of course.
And I have never spoken publicly about this, but I also have a sexual abuse history. So I can certainly understand where you're coming from. And, when you mention about getting through a lot of different emotions before you get to a place of hope, I mean, that couldn't be more true. I have been down that road, believe me. So, that's why I think probably before I knew anything about you, your music, just struck me like a lightning bolt. And I think it's great that you're open about it, but you're also trying to get people to get to that place of hope, like you said. So that's really great.
I mean, thank you, and I'm sorry. I hate that anyone has to experience certain things like that. But I think that what I'm hoping to do is, instead of, I don't want to belittle the past experiences we all have, but so it's not a matter of saying, well, let's just get over it. It's a matter of saying, it is real, it has happened, these are the leftover residual feelings and issues and emotions and struggles we have. So let's talk about what do we do now, and that is the fight. That's where the whole tenacity and that push to find hope. That's why I say it's a small thing in a dark place, and that's more real to me than coming out with a positive message of like just overly optimistic of like, hey, everything's fine, we're all okay, let's get over it, let's move forward. That isn't real. That's not really what happens. We don't, I love people, but if we're all real with ourselves in traffic or the grocery line or something, we have a cavalcade of emotions and thoughts about the people around us.
Right.
And then we have to say, well, wait a second, who the heck am I to think about others this way? We're all in this together, like,
absolutely.
That's like the reality of that's the positive message I'm trying to convey. If I have a positive message, it's reality of, it's a choice to do the right thing. It's a choice to feel, not entertain negative attitudes and negative things toward other people. It's really a choice to fight for good. For the good, I don't know.
You've said everything that I think on a daily basis, Joe. Honestly, I mean, I could not agree more. I always say to myself, and you have a religious background, and I know that, but to me, one thing that's constant, no matter what religion you practice, is to do unto others as you would have done to you. And for the life of me, that's the hardest thing that everyone has, they can't seem to grasp that concept. And so every day I'm thinking, okay, I could go this way or I could go that way. And you're right, it's a choice. So
it's a choice. It's a choice to get out of bed. I mean,
absolutely.
That sounds so simple for some people, but for others, I know for me, there's been many, many times where it's just really hard to I have to live this day now.
Right.
I have to get out of bed and live.
That's
and
right.
Sometimes that's just really hard. So,
Amen. Amen.
But this is why this is what I'm hoping with FLINTface. Like I said, there's a lot of music out there, like you said, I beg your pardon, with the NyQuil. It's slowly trailing off, and my cold is still here.
That sucks.
Like you had said, there's a lot of music out there, and you're sure people have things to say, and they do. And sometimes we need an "I'm too sexy for my shirt" song.
Right.
Sometimes we need a really deep song. But the reality is that I think any artist just needs to have something to say that's honest from their heart and mean it when they sing it. And I think that's the best thing about music is when you hear an artist sing, even if you disagree with them, if it's honest and from their heart, you're like, you know what, I can respect that. These are things.
That's right.
And I appreciate that.
Well, that's why I love what I do, because there are plenty of people who are out there and maybe review music, let's say, and there are those that are always looking for the worst in what they listen to, or they're trying to tear it apart. And I'm kind of the opposite. I always look at music like, this artist took the time and had something to say, and they put their passion and creativity into it. Whether it's my preference of style, it really isn't the issue for me. It's, I'm trying to see what they were doing with it and what they were feeling. That's what I get out of music, no matter if I like it or not. So
I'm sure I'm sure many artists are grateful for you doing that.
Yeah.
It's a really good thing, your experience.
Yeah, I try.
Not so fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's a labor of love, and I know how hard the industry is. So I see what you guys go through just to try and get your music out there. So I respect it, and being creative myself, I thoroughly understand the process. So I love what you're doing, and you have a new record coming out, right? A full album.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Hope. The name of the album is going to be Hope, and from what I understand, it'll be out this spring. We do have that song ready for it, and a simple acoustic version of the bottom. We'll have a full version of that on the album, but ready for it in the bottom on iTunes right now. And they're good. They're a good example of the album. Maybe not completely musically, because there's some a lot of upbeat songs in the album as well, but it sets a real tone for that attitude of hope and coming from a dark place and everything we just discussed. So yeah.
I'm excited about it. I can't wait to hear the rest of it. I'm kind of on pins and needles here, so I really love the video that just came out for the bottom. You had some fan participation in that, correct?
Yeah, we had asked fans to send in photos to, and it really did set the framework for the concept of the picture video, and it's neat to watch because I sometimes I compliment my work because it takes a team of people to make it look and sound as good as it does. So
right.
Sometimes I'm a fan of my stuff because someone else helped me develop it. Behind every good artist, there's got to be a great team.
Absolutely.
So whenever I compliment my own music, it's not because I'm psychotically narcissistic or something. It's because I know I'm complimenting all these wonderful people that helped me. I love the photos that were chosen and how it's put together, because it goes from slightly campy to pretty dark to campy to dark to happy and hopeful to it's not so great,
Right.
Because that is the concept of the bottom, and you hit the bottom hard enough, you bounce.
Right.
And that's that is hope. The album, on the surface it's oh boy, hope, more positivity or something, but hope is really that place where you think you're going to die, where you really just are ready to snap, and somehow you wake up the next day and you're still here and you didn't die.
Right.
And you discover this hope that you did not acknowledge or know existed, and somehow we're still alive. And so that is the hope I think we're talking about here. That's the best way to describe it, I believe.
That's an excellent way to describe it. I mean, it's you're very motivational, I think, for people out there who do have that feeling of being so far down that they don't think they can get back up. I mean, it's great to show others through whatever way you can, and for you, it's your music, that it is possible to bounce and get back up. So
yeah, it's just that's the chorus of the bottom is part of it. The beautiful thing about losing it all is there's nothing left to lose at all.
Yeah,
and it is kind of true. We strive and wrestle to keep hold of certain things in our life, whether it's a relationship or things or real reality is our home, or keep our car or whatever we're experiencing. And then sometimes once we've lost everything, you just kind of look around and say, at least I had nothing left to lose, and it's kind of sad, but it's kind of
it's true.
A relief.
Yeah.
A peace. It's a new sort of peace that comes on us. But anyway.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Well, I am hoping that this, new record that comes out is going to bring you down our way, so we can see one of these live shows that I have heard so much about.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, and yeah, I really do hope so, and I hope you feel better. And from what I hear, it's your birthday.
It is my birthday. Yeah.
Well, happy birthday from
Thank you.
from us to
I'm
you.
getting myself a pizza.
Are you really? Well, there you go. You're
That's all I do.
sick as a dog. You're gonna eat pizza and hopefully have something sweet later, so it'll be good.
That's all you need in life. A little bit of pizza, we're all right.
And then a shot of NyQuil to take you out of the day.
Yeah, I come back tomorrow and wonder what the heck I said on this interview.
Oh, hey, nothing embarrassing. So you're all good. No problem. Well, I'll tell you what. Since you're sick and I know you probably need your rest and your pizza, I'm going to let you take us out of the interview. And this is if you desire. We usually do something where you get to ask me anything you want. So instead of me asking you the last question, you get to ask the last question.
Wow. All right. So do we get deep or do we keep it surface? What do you think?
This is what I tell everyone. You can ask me anything. It doesn't have to be music related. It can be personal. There's no holds barred. Whatever you want to ask.
All right. So since we have some similarities in our lives and so forth, just I think everybody does. And oh, by the way, I do want to add that you don't have to go through some horrific type of abuse or something like that to need hope. Like, everybody needs
Absolutely.
something. Everybody has problems at whatever place they are in their life. So,
right.
Anyway, so what would you say? How would you give someone hope to pick themselves up and continue on and live?
Wow, that's really a good question.
That's why it's hard to write these albums.
Yeah, really, right? It's hard to be an inspiration. Wow. I don't know. Here's for me, and like you said, everyone has a sad story. Obviously, and I don't know. The only way I know how to relate to someone else who's struggling is to sort of go through my struggles, and aside from the abuse issue from way back when, I've been sick for years. So every single day is an effort to get out of bed. And these days for me, it's not because of the past, but it's the present. It's being in pain every single day. Yeah, it's a struggle. And it can really get you down in a big way because, I don't remember what it's like to have a pain-free day. Could not even tell you what that feels like. And I have all this desire to go out and do all of these things, but my body says something else. So, it can be disheartening. But at the end of the day, for me, I look at what I have, and I look at the fact that, I am still here, and I could be here for a very long time, and I might be in pain the whole rest of that time, but I'm here. And I have a lot of loved ones and people that support me and whatnot. And I get to do this great thing where I get to talk about music with talented people. And a lot of that came out of the fact that I was sick. So, if I hadn't been really down because I was sick, I would not have been inspired by somebody who is very well known in music, who actually got me into what I'm doing today. So, I think that out of every negative, if you really look hard enough, you can find a positive.
It's not always natural, right? You have to fight for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to fight every day to remind myself that, I might hurt like hell, but then this happens or that happens, and I remember that there's a reason why I'm here. So, there you go.
I love it. That's really awesome. Hey, you're pretty good at this.
Thanks. I might have to go.
Really awesome.
I'll go out on tour.
Let's do it. You'd be like, open up and you'd be like the hype person. Get the crowd going.
Well, I used to.
That's really cool. I
Thanks.
really enjoyed talking to you, and I just thank you so much for. I know your power was out or something.
Yes.
On last time.
Yeah, we had wicked windstorms up here, and so our power kept going off and on, off and on. So I appreciate you, bearing with me, and we finally got this done. I'm so glad.
Wonderful talking to you. I can't wait to meet you in person.
Oh,
and hey, thanks for everybody listening or reading or whatever.
Both.
Whatever version this comes out as.
Yeah, it's going to come out in both, so everyone will either see it or listen to it or both. So that's awesome.
You're awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.